So as a massive Richmond fan, there was a report that came out a little bit ago that has me highly interested in, and something I feel like I just have to talk about on the channel. And that does happen to be the recent report and rumors over the last couple of weeks by a couple of different journalists out there that the Tigers are interested in potentially, signing Matt Rowell in free agency. Now, of course, Tiger Faithful is a page that we've talked about a couple times on the channel. Actually gave a little bit of a perspective to this. Again, he actually talked about Rowell to Tigerland, 7 years, 12 million. I still think his prices are so highly off. I mean, we talked about the Zach Butters one a little bit ago. The amount he had Zach Butters going to the Tigers for was just ridiculous. I think these players are going to get so much more money than this, especially with the salary cap dramatically going up. Again, 12 million, 7 years to Rowell is probably what you're going to hope you're going to get. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he's probably going to be pushing more. I think a lot of these players are really going to be starting to push to that, kind of range of nearly up to 2 million per season. I mean, look at De Koning about to sign, I think, with St Kilda for 1.7 million a year. I think Callahan had an offer that was very similar by the Saints. They're probably going to offer that to Matt Rowell at this point. I mean, who the hell are the Saints even paying? I don't even know. But he actually goes on to say that should Richmond go hard for Matt Rowell, the 23-year-old superstar is out of contract at the end of the year and has reportedly bought himself a house in Kew, further fueling the rumours. Rowell is arguably the best inside midfielder in the AFL and has now added score involvements to his game. We are a young team, I get that. But as we will find out this year, the draft is becoming more and more compromised every year. Half of the first round prospects are already linked to clubs. A successful rebuild involves drafting and recruiting. Rowell is in an ideal age bracket, which is completely true, wants to come home, and we have a ton of cash to spend. My idea, flip a top 5 pick to Gold Coast for Matt Rowell, give him a record-breaking 7 years at 12 million, and have the best inside ball winner in the competition to supercharge this rebuild. Then all we need is to draft a fast midfielder and we are set. Just imagine, Lawler, Smiley, Houghton and Rowell leading the midfield for the next 10 years. This would probably involve trading one of Hopper or Taranto away, but we get a younger and, quite frankly, much better player. Again, that's another thing I absolutely hate about this thing is, for some reason, this Tiger Faithful page has brought up a couple times that Richmond could trade away a Hopper or Taranto in the future. I don't know where the hell that is coming from, considering Taranto and Hopper have been playing their best footy nearly of their career over the last couple of weeks for the Tigers. They're also on a ton of money that would be very, very hard to move, and I don't think any teams would be wanting to do it. So I don't know where that's come from. That's very left field. But he is right in saying that the Tigers are a very young team. Matt Rowell does fit that age bracket. He's only 23 years old, and he kind of actually fits the team now. Again, if you asked me this question of should we go for Matt Rowell last year, I would have 100% said no, especially with Taranto and Hopper's bad year last year. They're already slower, contested inside clearance players. We didn't really need another one. We needed a lot more speed. But in looking at how Matt Rowell has played this year, he has added score involvements to his game. He is much better around the ground, defensively and offensively. He also looks quicker and faster, or I don't know, is that just me? He's definitely just a whole lot fitter in my opinion. And it does make me think that if the Tigers do want to fill out their salary cap, which we know they're going to have to go and do, you could offer him this deal that I still think, even though 7 years, 12 million sounds good, I still think, considering he's only 23, don't be surprised if he's looking for like an 8 or 9 year deal, probably worth like 15 million, could even literally be more. I wouldn't even be surprised. Again, if he signed 8 years, 15 million, you're going to near that 2 million per year type of range. But with the salary cap in 5 years, 6 years time, expected to go up by about 35 to 45%. If this contract was back-ended in 7 years, you were paying Matt Rowell $1.8 million, right? Or $1.9 million. By the time that 7 years comes around, you're probably going to be seeing guys on like 2.3 to 2.5 million, especially if the contract is going up by 35 to 45% with the salary cap. So I don't think you're going to get him for 7 years, 12 million. In fact, I think there are going to be clubs who are going to offer him like 8 or 9 years worth probably like $15 million. It is just the reality of things where we're going in the AFL. And I think Essendon will be the type of team that will 100% do that. I think Melbourne, who are freeing up a bunch of salary cap with, Petrarca and, of course, Oliver most likely being traded. Again, we still don't know what's going on there. Petrarca seems to have changed his tune. Pickett, of course, moving on. They're going to have a bunch of first-round picks to use. I think they'll be interested in Rowell. But it's obviously like as well, if you do go for Rowell, the thing is that Gold Coast are going to match whatever contract he gets given. And they're going to match him, and you're going to have to trade for him. So if Rowell does want to leave to a team as a free agent, go and, of course, let's just say he wants to go to Richmond, Gold Coast is going to match it, right? Because if they didn't match it, they would get a pick in compensation, which probably would be like pick 10 to 13. Wherever they finish on the ladder, that is the pick they're going to get, first round band comp. But that's not going to be good enough for Matt Rowell. The thing is, Richmond are going to have, most likely 2 top 5 picks. They're going to have their own pick and North Melbourne's first round pick, I think. Right? And it's going to be interesting. The reason I say I think is because I don't know where North Melbourne's pick is going to be. It looks like it's going to be top 5 because they don't look that good, but they could still jump up towards the end of the season. Matt Rowell is arguably one of the best players in the game right now, and he's only 23 years old, and he was a former pick 1. Let's just say Richmond had pick 5 from North, right? If they offered that up to to Gold Coast for Matt Rowell, I still don't think it gets done. I legitimately still don't think it gets done, which is the crazy thing to think is that why I'm so scared about Richmond maybe going for Matt Rowell is I think he would be a lot to give up through the trade. And I think the team that better suits that is probably going to be Essendon, who they just really need to bring in a star to help out Merritt and whatever the hell's going on in that midfield. So I think they should be more or so likely where they could have like pick 2 or 3 from Melbourne and they could offer up that pick and maybe a future second or something like that to get Matt Rowell to the team. Again, I think that's more realistic than Richmond offering up like pick 5. That's just not going to get done, in my opinion. And there is still some concern in me of, does Matt Rowell fit in this team? Again, I think he fits way more than what he would have last year. But still, you've got Josh Smiley coming through, who's a contested inside clearance midfielder. You don't want to overstack that. Again, having Taranto, Smiley, Hopper, and Rowell all on the same team would be weird. And if I was Richmond, I still think they should only sign free agents if they can get them for free and know the team's not gonna match them, right? And there are only going to be a couple of those players out there. But Richmond, I think, just have to walk into this draft with their 2 top 5 picks, unless one of them gets used for maybe Zach Butters. Zach Butters is like the only player I could see maybe the Tigers parting way with that first round pick, because I think he suits them the most out of like the majority of the free agents. But if they have 2 top 5 picks, use them. Go to the draft, use both of those picks, and go in free agency and sign players that you don't have to give those picks up, or sign players where you're going to have to only give up second rounds or stuff like that. I just don't think Matt Rowell is necessarily the avenue, especially considering Richmond are going to have to give up a ton of assets and capital, I think, in my opinion. And it's probably going to end up being the biggest contract in the AFL, like 8-9 years on 15 mil, which will probably get broken by DeConey, who'll sign 8-9 years with St Kilda on like 17. Again, if St Kilda really wanted to, I legitimately don't think they're paying anyone. What a powerhouse off-season to be if they sign De Koning and Rowell. Again, that would probably be like 6 years, 16 years, $30 million with both of them combined. That's a lot of freaking money, but because they're St Kilda, they got to legit overpay, and I actually think they've got a really good young core and a really good coach in Ross Lyon, who is got them winning way more games than I thought they were probably going to win. I mean, if you got Rowell and De Koning on that team, and they looked at even Jamara and got him for free, like rumours have been on the channel before, like I've mentioned. What an off-season. Jamara, Rowell, and De Koning all to the team. Something like that. Again, I know we're playing like NBA 2K in real life, it seems like here. But this is legitimately all realistic things that have all been reported. So, I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out. Rowell could still re-sign with Gold Coast, but he did just spend over $2 million on a house in Kew. Again, who the hell does that if you're not going to move there? That's so weird. I don't think that's an investment property. If you want an investment properties, you go buy 3 houses in bloody Cranbourne or get 3 houses built in Cranbourne for the same price. Doesn't make any sense in my opinion. Again, I'd very much like to hear all of your thoughts and opinions on this in the comment section down below. Do you guys think the Richmond Football Club are going to look at Matt Rowell? Should they sign him / trade for him? Again, I'd very much like to know. Subscribe to my gaming channel, which will be getting linked in the description down below. Subscribe to this channel for all the latest sports content and news. And I guess I'll be seeing you guys next time. Goodbye.